Okay, so imagine that I was in Elandra's group, right? So I will get an invite in my email, or Elandra can share the link directly. And then this is what I will see in my Google Drive. You'll see these 3 folders, right? Now, ideally, remember the family modeler will work with this file. The BIM coordinator will use this file, and the interior designer will use this file. The interior designers, sorry, the family modeler's family file is going to be inserted in the interior designer's file, and the interior designer's file is going to be inserted in the BIM coordinator's file. Now, in order to work this, I want you guys to use the Google Drive application, and what that would look like is, so this is what Google Drive would look like on your computer. You will see a My Drive folder that's going to be here, and when you go in this folder, you will see a bunch of folders. Now, these are the folders that are in my Google Drive. Now, notice that I'm not seeing the folder that Elandra shared with me. Remember, I'm pretending to be Elandra's group member, right? So, of course, I can see that file in my Google Drive. Let me go to this Google Drive here, which is this one, right? So when I go to my Google Drive, I can see that the file was shared with me. Now, when I go here, when I go to shared with me, right? Now, when I go to my shared with me, I see the folder here on the internet. But when I go to my computer, it's over here, right? So when I go to my computer, note that I'm not seeing the shared with me at all. So this is what I mean, guys. In order for you to work together, this folder here, you are going to have to, from my Google Drive, I'm going to go to Organize, and I'm going to go to Add Shortcuts. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the shortcut to my Drive folder. And let me just create well, do I need to create a new folder? No, I don't need to. I'm just going to add it to my Drive folder, and I'm going to choose Add. So now when I go to my Drive, I see this folder called JED that is on my Drive. Now in my computer now, locally on my computer, if I refresh, hopefully, here we go. Now the folder will show up called JED. So this is what I mean, that even when you share the folder amongst yourselves, you need to add a shortcut to your My Drive, and then that is how it will show up in your computer. Now, the folder has to show up in your computer for this process to work good. So what that means is, so I'm going to put this to one side here. So here is my computer, and now I'm going to pretend that I am one of Elandra's group members here. So one of these Revit belongs to Daniel, and one Revit belongs to Marshall. So each person is going to put this JED folder. They're going to create a shortcut in their Google Drive so that it shows up in their My Drive on the computer. So for the person that's going to be the interior designer, well, I have also put a Revit file there in case you want to use Revit. So let's see, it's a bit small. Let me small this up. Here, I don't need these 2 files, right? So I have a Revit file and a DWG. So let's say the interior designer is opening this file. So it will now open. And this is that file. Now, as for the family modeler now, they will go to the family modeler here, and then they would open this file there. So Elandra, here are your group members, and they're all working on their computer. Each of your group members in their Google Drive on their computer, they should have this JED folder on their computer. So when this person is working and they click save, it will be saving to the interior designer folder. And the same for the family modeler, right? Now, Elandra, as the BIM coordinator, so I'm going to have one more Revit open now, and this will represent your file, Elandra. So as the BIM coordinator now, you will open the BIM coordinator file. All right, good. So I'm going to put this over here. All right. So this is what the BIM coordinator file looks like. If I could go to 3D view, right, that's what it looks like. Let me go to 3D view here. Yeah. There we go. Now, Elandra, this is where the trick comes in. On your computer, Elandra, you are going to go to insert, and you're going to go to link Revit file. When the dialog box comes up, you're going to browse to your Google Drive folder. So usually your Google Drive by default, it will try to go to a drive G, but depending on the computer, maybe you have a drive E or F or whatever it calls it, right? So you're going to go to your Google Drive folder. In my case, and then notice that I have the JED folder on my computer. So this is the key, guys. You need to have your group members folder on your computer. And then let's say I go to now the BIM coordinator. Sorry, I go to the interior designer, and I'm going to now link the interior designer's file. So now it is linked in, right? So for example, I should, if I should use the scope box, here. I'm gonna put the properties over here because the screen is a bit small. So, all right, here what I'll do. I'll just hide the roof for now. Right. So the interior designer's file is now linked into this file. Now, this is your interior designer here now, Elandra, and they are working at their home wherever, but they're using the same folder, the Google Drive folder on their computer. So if they now decide to add some walls, which is what they're going to be doing, we're going to be deciding where to add the walls. Well, for the interior designer, maybe they choose to do it in Revit. So they might choose to insert the CAD file that I sent to you guys. So in this case, I'm going to go to import. And I'm going to go to, I'm now acting as the interior designer. So I'm going to go to that file there. And I'm going to go to, where is it? This one, yeah. Go to my drive and go to the JED folder. And then I'm going to go to the interior designer. And here I have the CAD file that's here. So if you're linking the CAD file, you're able to now see where everything is, right? So let's say you decide to put in some walls. It's fine. But the interior designer also needs to lay out the benches that the family modeler is working on. So let's say that this is the family modeler here, and they are working on these benches, right? So Okay, I don't know where I put it, but let's just say that the bench person is working on their bench. For now, I'm just going to use a random shape to represent the bench for now. So in that case, I'm going to, come on. There we go. There we go. Right. So let's say the bench is now modeled. This person is going to save the file in the same Google Drive folder. Because remember, all three of your group members has the same Google Drive folder on their computer. So I'm just going to call this bench. I'm just borrowing your folder, Elandra, just to demonstrate here. All right. Now, the family, the interior designer will be expecting to see the benches in the bench folder. So they will go to architecture and they will go to load family. And when they go to the Google Drive folder, in your project folder here, you will see the family modelers folder here, and there goes the file. Now in that case, it's going to be one of these files when you're actually doing it, but I just created a separate bench file here, and then you're going to insert this into your project. Wow, that is a huge bench. I didn't mean to make it so huge, but you guys get the idea, right? So now that you have this in your interior designer file, you're going to save this file. Now the thing is, once you hit save and save this file, it will update for the BIM coordinator. Now, as the BIM coordinator, Elandra, you would need to go now to the way how you reload the file quickly is in your project browser. Under links, you can just right click and choose reload. Notice once you choose reload, you will see the files that your interior designer created. You will also see the benches that your family modeler created for your interior designer. So guys, this is how you will set up your Google Drive, right? Good luck, I guess. I hope everything goes smoothly, but this is a fairly simple process. Just make sure you're working in the same folder, right? But you have to be using the desktop app for this to work in the way that I'm showing you. All right, everybody has to install the Google Drive desktop app, and everyone has to have this folder in their Google Drive. You have to work from this folder so that the next person will get the update. That's the important thing. Don't work in isolation and then email the file. The whole purpose of collaboration is that you're working in the same folder, and as you update, the next person will update as well.